Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the recent development that happened yesterday, where it looks like Project Quarm has gone into an agreement, much like P99 did, to keep Quarm up and allow their players to return to the server. The downfall to that is it doesn't come without strings attached whatsoever. So looking over some of this and just going over the information that I have in front of me, it looks like as a result of their discussion, they entered into an agreement with Daybreak Game Company, LLC. This agreement formally recognizes Project Quarm as a personal, non-commercial, not-for-profit, fan-based private server and establishes the guidelines that we as a project must follow. So this is where it gets interesting. The agreement will allow us to continue to update the game without risk of legal repercussions. Now, we'll go back on that in just a second, because when it says update the game, that is, I guess that's to be looked at however you want to look at it, because it doesn't look like they're going to do a whole lot of updating. As a lifelong fan of over 23 years, it is an incredible privilege to have this consideration, and we are honored to share in our love of EverQuest with our community. Okay. All right. Project Quarm will also be fast forwarding the server to Luclin when it returns. Please stay tuned for more information about the server's return within the coming weeks. Now, there's a reason it didn't open back up today or yesterday. They've got to do quite a bit of work to get it to fit within Daybreak's little puzzle piece of what they want. So Project Quarm is operated solely as a personal, non-commercial, non-pro, blah, 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 blah. Project Quarm contains a number of changes to the base game that make various changes to the base game of EverQuest through the Planes of Power expansion. Some of those modifications, however, were determined to be a step too far for a personal, non-commercial, fan-based private server. As such, we were asked to remove specific items as part of our agreement. These are the following items. Custom zones. All these custom zones. Custom raid encounters. Custom player races. Item tinting and armor fixes. Custom expansion. Incomplete quests. And we may remove extra additions on request by Daybreak Game Company at any time. As part of the agreement, Project Quarm was asked by Daybreak Company to implement a player cap of 1,200 players. Additional players past this point will be placed in a queue. However, we additionally obtained permission to add offline bazaar trading to the game on the launch of the Luclin expansion. Note, players in the offline bazaar do not count against the player cap. So, they got gutted. 100% gutted. And I've got to say, like, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to say something that I feel like might be an unpopular opinion here. So don't get too upset with me. I honestly, I'm not trying to throw whatever quote unquote shade at anybody, but this is 100% Secret's fault. 100%. Daybreak didn't go after them at all. So for him for their starters, shut the server down without considering any of his player base whatsoever. And then, at that point, to go crawling to Daybreak, begging for that server to be able to go into some kind of a written agreement. And then, I can't imagine, if this is the negotiated response that you got, I don't even want to see what they said at first. You can only be a wood elf. That's the only thing you can do. You can't leave Kelthin. Like, I don't have no idea what their original requirements and what they had going on was, and I don't really want to. I can't imagine what it was. I think that what happened is that he went in there, but responded to these requests and everything else, and just immediately rolled over. And that's crazy to me, because I have no idea who this Secrets is. I have no idea. I know that I've seen the name as far back as P99 when I played on there. I've seen the name go back as far as that, but I have no idea who he is. Like, a zero idea. The only thing I know is that he ran Quarm. I tried to get on Quarm a couple times. It wasn't for me. A good server though. I mean, it seemed like it ran well. I tried it at the very beginning whenever there was like some serious view issues. Like I couldn't like scroll out and like play and stuff. But other than that, it seemed like a fine server. I mean, it seemed like it was designed around having custom content and being able to do things that you couldn't necessarily do in P99, and things like that, which gave it that appeal to do. But I honestly feel like this is kind of a strategic move from Daybreak, because what is this going to do to all the player base of THJ? I mean, honestly, if you were looking forward to something coming out of this THJ lawsuit thing that was positive, now you're worried if they're going to gut Quarm. I can't imagine what they're going to do to THJ, right? In the back of your mind, remove custom content. That's all THJ is. I mean, the base game is almost not there unless you're looking at the zones and things like that. You've got all custom items. You got custom trio classes. You got everything. So I think if anything, I feel like this was literally implemented to scare the heck out of any kind of player base that THJ has got. I don't think it's going to work. I think that people that play THJ are devoted to THJ, period. And I think they're going to keep playing it until they pull the plug. That's just how it is. It's a fun, unique way to experience the game. And there's nothing Daybreak can do to take that away from players until they actually pull the plug on it. They're not going to be like, oh, well, I'm scared now. I guess I won't play the game that I've fallen in love with that these guys have created. It's not going to happen. And it's surely not going to be enough to bring them back to their crappy TLP that they've got. But I can see some of these people from Quarm, they kind of wanted that leveling experience and all that other stuff going back to the TLPs. I can. Maybe not this new one, because I mean, the rules on it are just garbage, but maybe going back to Teak or Mischief or whatever else it is, getting a group of people from, Quarm to go in there together. That way they can kind of go through the process as a group and not have to worry so much about it being so, in-game heavy. They can do their own thing. But this is crazy that they would literally just allow their server to be absolutely destroyed for no reason. No reason. Unless Secrets is lying. I mean, it was pretty much set out in the open that they never received any kind of cease and desist letter. They never received anything. So basically, he just shut his server down with no warning to any of his players, and then went into some agreement to completely strip the server of every single thing that made it unique. So, I mean, anybody that has spent, I know that it was designed around a ideology of not spending as much time on that server as you would have to, like on P99, to get progression. But I can guarantee you there's still dads out there and whatever the server was aimed at that have spent hundreds of hours on there that are now completely, I don't know that they're going to want to go back to that now. The peak of Quarm was that it was a customized server that went forward through Planes of Power or whatever it may be. And that's all gone. So I don't know. I guess at this point, you could look at it like a P99 version of Quarm now that goes through Planes of Power. That's going to be on Luclin. I have no idea if Quarm ever got to 1,200 players. That's another thing. I have no idea. I know the 1,200 player cap on like THJ would suck. No one's going to want to sit in a queue for an hour because people don't get off THJ. I know some players that live on that game. So I'm not 100% sure how that would affect something like THJ going into it. But I also don't think that the owners of THJ are going to roll over and show their belly like this and be like, hey, yeah, no, we'll agree to completely strip and destroy our server. We'll keep it up, though. Why not just take the server down? At this point, you already gave up on the server. You already stopped everything you were doing and obviously didn't show any kind of anything towards the player base that you've got. And then you agreed to all of these ridiculous implementations from Daybreak Why not just shut the server down? Start something different. Seriously, start over. I mean, and keep putting in the things that you want to put in. They didn't come after you in the first place. Realistically, all you do, you're like the kid in the back of class that was like, oh yeah, you forgot about the homework. Like, why? Why did you put yourself in a situation that now you've taken away everything that made your server unique? I don't know. I get the whole fear factor thing, like, oh my gosh, they're going to come after me litigation wise or whatever. But they didn't, and they didn't even say they were going to. And then shutting down out of fear, I get that in a sense. I guess for like a couple of days, just being like, oh my gosh, knee-jerk reaction. I gotta shut this down. I don't want to get in litigation. I don't have the means like the THJ guys do. I think it is what he said in one of the little posts. But at what point did you think it was a good idea? Did you think that you were going to contact Daybreak and they were going to say, no, you keep doing all your custom stuff, and yeah, we're fine with it. In fact, here's a written guarantee that you can keep doing everything you're doing. No, of course they're not going to. You know what that would do to their litigation with THJ? Oh yeah, you keep doing all your custom stuff, and then they show that in court that they agreed to all that. All this did was give more firepower to them against THJ. That they're going to implement these kind of rules, 0 custom features, player caps, everything else, and you agreed to it. So realistically, you completely took the engine out of your server, and you gave them more room, in court to say, well, we are implementing this in other servers that do custom content. I'm confused. I know I'm ranting, and I get it, and it's like I don't understand the end game here. I don't really understand the end game at all here. But I mean, anyways, here's some of the comments. Population cap is effing ridiculous. And then harsher than I expected, given their history of tolerance with legitimate EMU projects so far. Well, why do you think it was harsher? Because they want precedence whenever they go after THJ in court. They want to be able to show that they implemented these rules, 0 custom content, player caps, all that stuff. This is just fed right into it. This is disappointing. The player cap is just ... bad. Removing the custom content, I kind of get, but is a bummer. I don't get that at all. I don't get it at all, especially if they're not taking any donations that are shown, whatever, but whatever. I don't even get removing custom content. Does that mean no EXP potions? Those help make lower levels a little less grindy, or, exactly. All of us have jobs, we work with blah, blah. Secret said EXP potion remains intact. That's good. So I have no idea if they have like a special Discord or whatever. I don't know. I'm not on it. My speculation on player cap is that they saw an explicit drop in subscribers due to yeah, exactly. They want to limit how hard Quarm can get. That way they can try to bring back players to the TLPs. That's it. But dude, if I see 1,200 people in the server, I'm not waiting in a queue. But I sure as F am not going to go and play live EQ or EQ2 as an alternative. So, I mean, this guy pretty much just said that he's not going back to live. Also, I mean, people are saying that, and I feel like it looks good on Reddit. It looks good on paper. But are they going to go back to the TLP? EverQuest is something people want to play. It's an itch that you get that you have to scratch. Are they going to go back to a TLP, especially if they end up changing some of the TLP rules up and break out another one since Bang Breaker was such crap? I don't know. I bet you'd see a lot of these people that said they're not going to go back, get real quiet and stop posting because they'd go back to the TLP. But glad you worked something out, but they also took so much. You didn't work anything out. You rolled over and let them get everything that they wanted. Which I'm not saying that you had an option at that point whenever you crawled up to them and asked them what they wanted for you to stay alive. But you didn't have to. You went into the thief's house, handed him a gun and said, would you like all my stuff? Well, of course they're going to want all your stuff. Why wouldn't they? You made it easy for them. But anyways, I can't believe that the original content was removed. That's the most interesting part. I know Secret said okay, so it's a chick. I didn't know that. Secret said she was trying to use this as a launch point to develop an original MMO, and I hope that she's able to do so. It sucks that her own creative vision was downplayed or yeah. I mean, they took away everything that made the server unique. But player cap in a hope that if the server is full, people will sub to. Yep, that's what I think. I think that they're wanting people to go back to EQ. You know, instead of waiting in a queue to get into Quarm. Like again, it's Quarm. Did they have 1,200 players? I have no idea. Oof. Yeah, I agree. That's like the best comment so far. Just straight oof. See, this is saying they don't want to draw too many players away from the live service. What I will say is that I feel like Quarm, if it trends like other TLPs do, it'll start to die off the minute it gets past Velius. That's just what they all do. Everybody likes that classic experience. They don't want to go into Planes of Power. They don't want to go, you know, do especially the Luclin grind. Whenever you're not sitting here with an overly powered character, the Luclin grind sucks. Those bosses have like 95,000 million HP. Secrets made it clear that she was desperate for a deal, and Daybreak, yep, took full advantage of this player cap nonsense. Won't even allow her to explain the rationale. This is a bad look for all parties, especially given that there were literally TLP advertisements going on and hashtag announcements while we all waited for news. I'm just telling you guys, like, I mean, obviously there's some passionate people obviously in the comments, but this could have been easily avoided. Now, granted, I don't really have a dog in this fight. I don't play on Quarm, but my biggest thing is I feel like that this really actually hurts the THJ argument, to be honest, because they're going to be able to say now, well, these other emus are coming up to us asking for permission, and we're allowing them to stay open with certain guidelines, but not THJ. These monsters are trying to stay open the whole time. And I mean, it's the secrets person that went into this. I don't know. It makes me kind of, I just figured that there would be like a group of people that kind of got together and was like, hey, we're all being attacked. Let's go ahead and do this and stand together. That way we have a better chance of the end game here being what we all want. But that's not what happened at all. You had someone, you know, go in and I guess and just like, I don't know if it was crocodile tears or what, but I mean, it is what it is. I just feel like it hurts the case with THJ, and that sucks because I still like playing on THJ. So, but that's it for me, guys. I just I had to get on here and talk about it. I mean, I've been trying to stay kind of away from it until I found like some actual concrete stuff with the actual case with THJ and Daybreak. But when I saw this, I mean, this is exactly what they were wanting. They wanted someone to show, so they could show that other servers are doing, quote unquote, the right thing, you know. So it's just like, anyways, that's just how I feel. Like I said, I know that there are going to be some people that disagree or whatever it may be, but that is just the way I feel about it. So, but I look forward to y'all comments and kind of seeing what y'all feel about this, and if you do think this is going to affect the THJ lawsuit and everything else, now that, you know, other people are kind of just bowing down and doing whatever Daybreak wants and showing that. So, but anyways, I look forward to your comments, and thank you guys all for the subscriptions. I'm over 1,100 now, so that's a huge deal for me. Massive, massive deal for me, and it's all because of you guys. I absolutely love every single one of you. And I look forward to hearing, you know, what your thoughts are on this. So I'll see you guys in the next video.